Alright, about to get started here. Day 5 of Evan's work on the bathroom extravaganza. Really starting to feel it in the hands. Right along the inner palm. Woo! Both hands are on fire. So I've procrastinated long enough this morning. Time to just start moving and forget about it. This is where I left it yesterday. Part of the ceiling exposed. I did decide that all of this original ceiling needs to come down. Thankfully, it's not as bad as I thought. In our other house, which is 50 years older than this one, it had plaster and lath. So we had lath stapled up there and then plaster keyed through it, and it was a royal mess to remove. This stuff is like, well, there are these like 1x1 almost square tiles that then have just this wire mesh kind of around the edges. So I'm hopeful that I can pull down squares as intact as possible to easily load them in the truck and take them to the dump. I was doing this last night, just that little section, and I was breaking it up, putting it in a trash can, but then that trash bag weighs like 100 pounds, and it's going to be a royal bear to get into a dumpster at the dump, and I don't want to drive up the hill again and have to roll it off the back. So we're going to go for manageable pieces that I can hand carry. That's the goal. Well, just discovered an unexpected surprise. That's not what you want to see. Just ants, not termites. But, dang it. Alright, let's suck them up. Alright, well that was one of the nastiest things I've done in a really long time. A lot of, ants and dead bugs and just really filthy. This corner of the house over here is right under a giant tree, and so I think there's evidence where mice and stuff have been getting in here. Thankfully, everything seems very old, and by those mice repellent pellets or whatever that I found, the boxes in the attic look to be really old. So that gives me some peace of mind that it's all historical and nothing active or recent. So, but I really didn't want to do this because I knew it was going to be this disgusting. So not really sure the next step here. Kind of just think about and be overwhelmed by the state of things, but it's okay. We'll get it built back. Just not entirely sure the next best step. The electrical up here is a mess. The benefit of taking all this stuff out is I can see everything so much better. So I can see where our vent stack goes through the ceiling that I am going to need to access. So that will be easy to do now that it's down. We've got new fans to go in. That'll be much easier here. Probably going to delete one of these air registers because this was always like the coldest room in the whole house, which never made sense because there's these two giant air ducts that pump into this small room. So I'll probably delete one of those. Yeah, I'm just going to take some time, clean up. I got to pull all these nails one way or another. So maybe I'll just take some time, chill out for a minute, do that, and figure out what I'm going to do next. One step at a time, I guess.
Katie from the future here, editing this video. I just want to take a moment to give Evan a shout out. He spent 5 full days of PTO working in the bathroom by himself before the holidays just to get some momentum, get some good progress, take care of some of this tedious underneath little things so that he could hit the ground running in the new year. A lot of this work that he did this week isn't flashy, it's not quick, it's not especially fun, but he dug in by himself and got a lot of it handled, figured out what his next steps are. This is hard work, you guys, and I know I say we a lot, even though he's in there by himself. Give him some encouragement in the comments. He's doing great. I think we've done this enough times now that I know and he knows that you can't measure progress in terms of how it looks. I know there are things like reframing the walls that absolutely have to be done and are going to make a big difference for us and for this home for the next 20 years, but it doesn't look like much, and it can be disheartening when you're still taking out old material, even a month or two into a project, but you run into something and you have to kind of change your course. I think Evan is really good at adapting to that, and so I just wanted to give him a shout out and emphasize, even though these videos look like little bits of not super flashy, not super fun work, he's getting a lot done. And one thing about Evan too, if you know him and you know the kind of work that he does, he is not cutting corners, so he will never take the easy or the quicker way out of something, for better or for worse. He's going to do it right, he's going to do it fully, he's going to get to the root of the problem, he's going to get underneath it. I think that's why we're seeing so much reframing of the walls and adding blocking to things, or fully taking out the ceiling, and re-insulating is going to be coming up soon. So I think what may look at times like a slower and a steadier form of progress is rooted in his desire to do things fully and do them right, which I think is an admirable trait and will serve us and this house really well. So shout out Evan, great job at your week. Thanks for being willing to spend a week of your PTO in the bathroom by yourself. We took a bit of a break after what you saw in this episode for the holidays, but we will be back at it again in 2026, which you'll see shortly. Thank you so much for watching and following along with us. More to come. Hopefully 2026 is the year that this project wraps up, but I won't say when. We don't know yet. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.